Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to talk about alimony. We've had other opportunity to discuss with you alimony and what alimony is and how you get it and all this stuff and what the nature of it is, what it's designed to be for. Today I want to talk about the permanency or non-permanency of alimony. In other words, let's say you get alimony. How long does it run? Well, if you look at different judgments of divorce, depending on how old they are, alimony was treated in different ways. In other words, a lot of your older judgments would talk about the alimony, and it would describe a periodic alimony versus alimony in gross. Those were terms that were bandied about, and basically alimony in gross was sort of a substitute for property settlement. It was the notion that I owe you money, there's a property settlement, I'm supposed to pay you $30,000, I don't have the money, but I'm going to pay you $1,000 a month for 30 months. And we're going to call it alimony in gross. By putting the name alimony on it, there's a notion that there's some enforcement level beyond a standard contract. That was the difference between that and periodic alimony. Periodic alimony was standard alimony. It was the kind of alimony that was basically not property settlement, but more support. It was spousal support. It was paid every month, and if you didn't pay it, it was technically a crime not to pay your support. So those are different kinds of alimony, and they ran for a periodic alimony. It might run for a certain amount of limited years. It might run until a certain thing occurs, death or remarriage. Alimony in gross would run for a certain defined period of time until a certain amount of money is paid. Nowadays, we're seeing something a little bit different. We're seeing that alimony provisions are generally written that somebody's going to get X amount of alimony per month until further order of the court. Those are the words that we see more and more in judgments of divorce. Now, what does further order of the court mean? Well, number one, it means that it's going to continue indefinitely forever until the court gives a further order. So, to get a further order, it means somebody's going to have to file a motion before the court and ask them. Somebody's going to have to say, look, I have an obligation to pay alimony. I can't do it anymore. I want it stopped. And I want it stopped for what reason? Well, the buzzwords are, the main concept is it would be stopped for some substantial change in circumstances. That is to say, something that either existed before no longer exists, or didn't exist then but exists now. So I'll give you examples. You're paying alimony, the recipient dies. It's a huge change in circumstance. You want to stop the alimony. You don't want the court to continue to find when you don't pay it that you're in arrearage. That's number one. Another opportunity to change the alimony might be that the payor loses his job. At the time that the alimony was ordered, making $50,000 a year. Now due to cutbacks and economy and this and that, laid off, no job. Can't possibly pay his own bills, let alone the alimony. So he would come before the court and say, look, my circumstances have changed. I'm asking for a further order of the court to suspend my alimony until further order of the court. And then it would be shut off, basically, until the other side came back and said, well, he's got a job again, I want my alimony back. It could also be something else. It could be, for example, that at the time of the alimony, the payor was making $50,000, the other person had no job. Now all of a sudden we learn the other person has a job, making the same or more. Or something that would change the alimony factor, either to eliminate it or to reduce it. That would be a reason to file a motion with the court and say, look, the circumstances have changed, and therefore we want the alimony modified. So these are all reasons that go to whether or not alimony will be permanent and what's the reason why it might not. Now, if you have any questions about your case, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.